pound dollar. And what we can see is that if we go onto the daily time frame, then we can actually see that the chart is starting to show a little bit of a reversal. And if we were to look at this and say that this is not a big enough retracement, we also have to consider the fact that there was a time period where the market has moved sideways for a period of 2 weeks, struggling to break either up or below. The market did, however, successfully break below the sideways movement, and now what we have is a market that has retested that level and now is building momentum further to the downside. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look at the daily chart, the 4-hour chart, and the hourly chart to get an idea of what can we expect from this market today. So as we can see over here, yesterday the market closed a very bearish doji candle over here. There's not any significance towards this candle. However, this does show that the market has given us a very high peak over there and started moving to the downside gradually. So if we look over here, we can see that the market has found resistance at this point over here several times, and the market was not able to break above that level. However, here we have the market finding support several times over here, and if you guys remember, there was in the time that the market was moving sideways, this was a very key level in that the market has struggled to break below this level. However, we see that the market has successfully broken bearish, formed a little bit of a shooting star over there, because now this support level has now become resistance after the market has broken, formed a little bit of a shooting star, and now then the market started building momentum to the downside. However, the shooting star over here was the sellers that entered based on the shooting star over here was not enough to push the market further down to make even lower lows, and therefore we have a little bit of a bull momentum. We have a little bit of bull momentum happening over here, and this is actually seen as a retracement. A retracement based on the fact that in order for the market to make even lower lows, in other words, to break this low over here, we need the market to go in and get more sellers. So what we have was a break below this key level over here, and then now we have this retest that has occurred over here. With this candle testing this support, the support level, as now testing it as resistance, we see a rollover happening at this point of view. So we can confirm that the market is looking to continue this movement to the downside based solely on what we see on the daily chart. However, we must also consider the fact that yesterday closed a bearish candle, as well as the day before closed a fairly bearish candle, and every time it closed a lower low. So what we're going to do now today is we're going to have a look and see where can we get a sell opportunity for the 12th of June, only because of the fact that we see that there is a lot of sell pressure and it's just coming off a retracement. So what we have, if I was to explain the ABCD wave, what we'll have is we have our A section over here. So I'll just label it here so you can have a look and see. So we have our A over here. Then we have our B over here. And then we have our C. Over here. And obviously we will then be looking for a D. Now this also follows the overall trend of this market, which is very bearish. And if you refer back to the last video we did on the 6th of June, you will actually come and find that the market actually did move up as we anticipated, and now we're starting to see a rollover. If we go over to the bigger time frames, we can actually see that the momentum is still very, very bearish in terms of the overall sentiment of the monthly chart, as well as the sentiment of the weekly chart. So if we go over to the daily chart, we can understand why it's not that difficult to see a bearish market busy unfolding over here. So with that being said, we're going to go on one last thing. I just want to show you how this market has retraced. So if I see that my retracement is over here, so that's my A and that's my B over there, I'm going to take my FIB, and what you'll notice is that we actually do have a little bit of a retracement. In fact, we have a market that has retraced 61.8% of the overall bearish trend. And as a result of that, that is being confirmed as a C, not only because of the market giving us a very valid turning point over here, but also because the overall sentiment of this market is bearish. So with that information, we're now going to jump over to the 4-hour chart, and we're going to have a look and see where do we find an opportunity to enter this trade. What I want you guys also to notice is that if we move over to the 4-hour time frame, we have a lot more defined information. And when I say defined information, what you'll notice is that over here I have a market that is making, let me just get this right. We have a market that is making higher lows, and then suddenly the market begins to make lower lows. So this is a very strong indication of a bear market looking to arise, because the market has now, instead of making higher highs, the market has now decided to take out the lows, making lower lows. So here we have a little bit of a 4-hour hammer. Now, we can't call this a 4-hour hammer because we still have to wait for this candle to close. But what we can see is a market that has made lower lows consistently. And so we will be waiting for an opportunity to kind of get in to this position over here. So what I want to do is I want to get some of the EMAs in this so that I can have a look and see what levels are acting as dynamic resistance and dynamic support. So what we have over here is a market that has broken through the EMA, formed a very nice shooting star over here, and you can see that it closed below the 4-hour 50 EMA, and that was then considered a dynamic resistance, and that's why it's referred to as a shooting star. Then the market closed the shooting star and started building momentum to the downside. What we could possibly see is a market that may want to retest this 50 EMA as a resistance point to roll over even further. But what we're saying is that at this point in time, we don't necessarily see an entry on the 4-hour time frame. But if I was to go to the 1-hour time frame, what we have is the EMAs starting to prepare itself to cross over. What we also have is a market that has made very obvious lower lows. And so the candle that is forming over here, we will have to wait for this candle to close to confirm what we can expect from this candle. If it does close a very solid bearish candle, then we're confirming the market looking to build momentum to the downside. If it does close a hammer, we could test the EMA as a resistance point before rolling over to continue the market going further to the downside. At this point in time, what we're looking at is clear opportunities to sell on this market. At the moment, the best time to have sold would have been on this shooting star over here, but as it stands, the market has already responded. So what we will then look to do is highlight this level over here, because this level has been a very key level of support. As you can see, the market was not able to break this level for several times. So if we do see that the market has broken this level over here, and this is 33.50, if we see that the market has broken this level over here, we will wait for the market to come and retest this level as a resistance point before going in for the sell. So this is what I see on the pound. And I hope that you guys understand what we're trying to say as it relates to the setup of these charts. And if we are looking to get into this position, we're going to have to wait and see how does the market respond to the 33.50 level before making an informed decision. As it stands, if the market closes above the 33.50 level, then we're looking to build a little bit of momentum to the upside, perhaps even testing the EMAs. But if we're looking to break the 33.50 level, it is confirmation that we are looking to make lower lows. And therefore, we will just wait for the retest. And once the market does do the retest, we'll just then enter the position, taking the rollover, and then targeting this low over here as the first level of target. So this is the forecast for the pound. If you guys look at the video that we've posted on the 6th of June, you'll actually notice that it was around about this time over here, and we actually did see the market move in our favor. And it actually did respond fairly positively to what we've analyzed. So we're just hoping that the same could be said for this setup over here. But like everything in the markets, we have to wait and see how does the market respond to these levels, and then we have to make a decision based on that. Furthermore, if there's any questions, you can let me know via Telegram, and I'll answer it as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.